All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this Wednesday weekly live stream. As always, let me test the audio and then we'll jump into this.
Goes.
I think it sounds all right. If there's any audio issues throughout this, just let us know. Thankfully, Josh is with us today, so he can be our tech guy if things go
Move the sliders up a little bit.
Yeah, so hello, everyone. I'm Timothy Von Rueden, better known as vonnart Online, and this stream today is going to be kind of a comfort zone one because I am feeling slightly under the weather, and I don't know, I just was not able to think of something very cool and over the top this morning. So instead, we're going to be doing a floral ethereal goddess profile bust. I feel like this is something I should feel very comfortable with. But as always, if you want to put where you're watching from, we like to do shout outs before we jump into this. And today I'm joined by my moderator, Josh, who is also my boyfriend. And thank you so much for helping out.
Oh,
He's
of course.
the one that also timestamps the videos. So if a video is not timestamped, you know whose fault it was.
Oops.
Yeah, and the only big announcements that I have here, actually, could you pull the chase print next to you?
Oh, yeah.
So all my Patreon backers will be receiving this print in the mail. It'll probably be an 8.5 by 11, not this weird size. So this is the newest illustration I did. It's called Colorblind. I actually just posted a reel of it last night on Instagram, so you can check out kind of the process on how I made this. And then the other one was we have a critique stream tomorrow. So if you want me to look over your work and give feedback and constructive criticism live, I'll literally be doing that tomorrow. And this is available to all my Patreon members, regardless of what tier you're on. So if you want to join my Patreon for a critique, do it by today and then submit your work tonight on the Discord. And then tomorrow I will be doing the critique stream. So some of you have already submitted, but it's always best when there's more. But if not, I'm totally okay just doing a handful. And then, yeah, moving on. And then next Wednesday, I'm hopefully going to have the next art battle. So I've been talking to some of my art friends, and it sounds like there's 2 that are up for the grabs. They're ready to go. They're, training in the back, ready for the ring, and we'll see. So I'll announce which one it will be sometime this weekend, most likely.
Tim's 1-0 so far.
Don't say that to Alex. Yeah, Alex definitely wants a round 2, and I definitely want a round 2 with him too. We got to somehow make it unbiased because I'm the artist, so when people come to my stream, I feel like there might be a bias to want to vote for me, but I want it like as fair as possible.
He can stream it on his channel too. Add
Very
up all
true,
the votes
very
together.
True. Okay, so I think I'm just going to kind of dive into this. If you have any suggestions or pictures or ideas that you think might, enhance the drawing, I'm definitely willing to see what you guys have and post. So we have a Discord below, that you can post in there as well. It should be the channel stream follow along, and that way we can see it on the stream, and then I can use it and integrate it into the drawing. All right, I don't need my glasses for this.
Samantha Renee, hello. Today is my birthday.
Oh, hello.
Oh my gosh, happy birthday. So excited to catch this live from Texas. Hi, Josh. Hi, Tim. Hello, Samantha. Happy birthday to you.
Hello.
Another June birthday. I love my June birthday friends. Just gonna get that Discord pulled up too, just in case anyone posts in there. All right, perfect. Jen says, pursuing profundity and absurdity from Denmark. Also, don't feel a need to come up with a theme every time. We just need vibing.
Yeah,
we
can
just
definitely give you some vibes. Yeah, actually, despite being kind of under the weather, I'm actually feeling really good outside of that, which is strange. I don't know if any of you feel that where you get sick, but then like mentally you feel great.
Oh yeah.
Like this is a weird contrast.
That's when it's frustrating to be sick because you want to be doing other things.
Oh, it's so frustrating.
But your body's like holding you back. I hate that. Hopefully it's just like a little stomach bug for you or something.
I mean, I have not been treating my body the best this past week. We've been eating just whatever. And I went out this morning to get more spinach so I can have at least green juice again.
Something good.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to clear out a lot of our food right now. Just because I have so much canned food that I don't use, so we're trying to use up what we have.
Mm-hmm.
EJ Dara says, hello again.
Hey,
Sadly,
Barbara.
Oh yeah, why do I always do that?
I don't know.
Hello, Barbara. Sorry. Sadly, I can't join tomorrow's stream, but I'm happy to catch this one at least.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you still want to submit for a critique and then watch it later, you're totally down to do that. Because you don't have to watch it live. Yeah, to any of those that are supporting them on Patreon, you definitely don't have to be there live.
Oh, Samantha says, hope you feel better. Lots of people getting allergies this time as well. Luckily, I haven't. Knock on wood. Yeah, that's.
I have been sneezing a lot lately.
I was saying. Well, actually, yesterday I could literally like see the pollen in the air.
Yeah, it was thick.
Yeah, it's a little rough right now. Even my cat Astrid, she gets really bad allergies. She's sneezing right now. Poor little Astrid. Wait, Casper even choose this one?
Yeah, you kind of choose whatever.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I kind of let him, so it's my fault.
Teething baby.
Casper is literally like my. I couldn't think of a better cat for someone like me to have. He's very regimented on a schedule. He's very playful. He's silly. He's very strange.
Well, he probably will come up soonish. Yeah, he does have a schedule. He likes to sleep in our basement has like a ceiling he can get up into.
Mm-hmm.
So he likes sleeping up there in the mornings. Then he comes up here around, you probably know more than I do.
Well,
One-ish,
as soon as I wake up, he's at the top of the stairs.
Oh,
And then he's waiting for me. And then I come down here, I pour him a bowl of food. And then he'll usually go to bed around, what time is it? So like 9:30, 10? I mean, it's literally the same every day. And then I give him his Shiba, which is like this wet food, around 7. And he usually comes and gets me.
He'll remind you if you forget.
Mm-hmm. He's very regimented. He's very schedule oriented, which I like because I'm very schedule oriented.
Astrid's a little all over.
Esther's all over the place.
But when she shows up, she's so sweet. Very snuggly. She sleeps by my head right now, too. I have a pillow set up, and she'll sleep right next to my head. It's really cute.
So guys, the vibe that I'm going for on this, like I said, is like ethereal summer, or maybe not even ethereal necessarily. Well, maybe we can turn her into a goddess. But I was thinking more like summer hippie vibes, just floral. It has that warm undertone to it, even though we're doing it in graphite. I may even pull out the powdered graphite so that you guys can see. I was working with it this past weekend, and I had a pretty good time, so I might pull them out. Actually, you know what? We could make that a poll later. Like, we'll see where it's at, and we'll be like, okay, do you guys think I should add powdered graphite to this drawing? And then we'll go from there.
Yeah, I think it's so cool when you use powdered graphite.
It's definitely risky, though, because, like, once it's down, it's very hard to erase, and it's very messy. So, like, if you commit to it, you really gotta, like, commit to it.
Ella says green... Oh, hi, Ella. Ella says green juice is something I yet have to try. Oh, my gosh.
Really?
Tim has a glass of it, like, every day, basically.
Usually. I think that's why I'm sick, because I haven't been doing it this last week.
I'll occasionally have it, but it's more of, like, a treat. And I usually add, like, cocoa powder to mine. Try to sweeten mine up a little bit. Cat sneezes are so adorable.
Oh,
They are
and there's
cute.
Casper. Literally
Casper,
on time.
you heard us
Look at
talking
that.
about you.
Hi, Casper. Hi, baby.
Astrid sneezes are cute, but sometimes she'll do it, like, right in front of your face. You just get
Oh, yeah.
all of it all over you.
Definitely had Astrid boogie on me a few times.
Oh, yeah. It's nasty. Samantha says, my cat loves to chew on my iPad pencil. I have to hide it.
I know. Actually, these pencils are pretty good. Every now and then, though, you'll see like a few holes near the bottom of the pencils. That's definitely Casper.
What a butt. Jen says, using the rest of your food is a good idea. By the way, you can make pancakes from leftover bread. What? I'm just imagining you, like, melting bread into a paste.
Right?
I know it doesn't work like that, but yeah, how can you use leftover bread? Jens, you got me curious. What is this wizardry?
Hi,
Oh,
Casper.
Casper, hi, sweetie.
Hi.
Oh, here he wants to chew.
He comes. He doesn't know how to get over the cord.
All right, be careful with the keyboard, sweetie.
Hi.
You can step right there, see?
Could you not sniff the microphone?
Casper?
Oh, nope, let's not bite the microphone.
He has to chew. He has to take one chew of everything at least.
Here, do you want to come on through? Oh, there he is.
Hi. Oh.
Oh.
Oh. Hi, sweetie. How you doing?
Casper, I know you're not trying to be a nuisance.
Oh, there he goes.
All right, let me open the window for you. I feel like he's like...
Oh, yeah. I think he sees this one's open right next to me. Perfect.
There we go.
Satisfied.
That's all it takes for little Casper. Or at least for like 5 minutes.
Ella says Casper is Tim's familiar.
100%.
Yeah. Casper.
Like, he embodies my soul on so many levels. Because sometimes I even wonder, like, when he sleeps. He just always seems active. And a lot of people say that about me. I'm like, yeah, you get your sleep in when you can, and then you just get to it.
I feel like I'm always tired. But that's how Astrid is, so it works.
Yeah.
Astrid's sleeping all the time.
Yeah, actually. It's pretty spot on.
Jen says cats are very schedule oriented around food, I've heard, especially around food, meaning that they start bothering you 30 minutes before you have to feed them.
Yes.
Yeah. I usually feed Astrid like 11ish in the morning, but she'll sometimes be out in the room at like 9 letting me know. The girl, you still got a couple hours to go. Wukongatron says missed all the other June streams, happy to make one.
Hello, hello.
Hello, welcome. The last stream of June. Well, technically, tomorrow is the last one. Vincent, hi Von. It's 1 a.m. here, but it's always nice to see your art stream.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, talk about not getting sleep.
Well, yeah, thanks for stopping by. Sorry it's so late for you over there.
I feel like we've been going to bed around like 1 now. It used to be bad. We were like 2 for a bit there.
I mean, lately for me, I would say it's like midnight. Because even yesterday... Oh, no, it was
like
1. Never mind.
Yeah, it was like after 1. But I feel like you're winding down around midnight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to be up in the morning, but I think it'll get better because I feel bad because we have another roommate who gets ready in the morning, and I don't want to like be in their way, so I'll usually wait until they're done, and then I'll come downstairs and start my day.
Samantha, speaking of birthdays, when is yours and Josh's, if you don't mind me asking?
Josh just had his, and actually he turned 30. The big 3-0.
30 years old now. Tim's is September 29th.
Yeah, mine's nothing too special. It's just 33.
Every birthday is special, Tim. 3-3. It's weird that we're both in our 30s now.
I mean, I love being in my 30s. I don't know if any of you watching are in your 30s yet. I don't know if a lot of you might be younger, but 30 is awesome. It's the best quote that I found about being 30 is it's basically like being in your 20s but with money. And that's kind of true, I must admit. Like, even with all my friends. And none of us are, like, I would say, stupid rich, but definitely more well off than we were in our 20s, we could say.
That's pretty nice so far. I just think purely from, like, a mental level, too. You don't worry as much what other people are thinking of you. Like, it comes and goes occasionally, but 20s for me were, like, that was a huge issue. You're more, like, comfortable with who you are. There's so many good aspects of getting older, I guess, that I'm appreciating now.
100%.
Barbara says, do you use some kind of medium to protect your graphite drawings, especially when working with graphite powder? As an art student, I used hairspray on charcoal, and that worked, sort of.
I talked to someone recently where they use hairspray. But what I was recommended to use from Alan Williams, who I think is like a graphite living god, is a matte fixative, M-A-T-T-E fixative. And it basically holds the graphite in place on the paper.
Let me know if we have a bottle of it up here.
It kind of looks like spray paint, the bottle, and it comes out clear, so don't worry. I think the biggest fear usually is like it'll ruin the drawing, but we've used it on most of the originals, and I've never seen any issues with it so far.
I kind of like the smell of it too. It's like gasoline, where it's like, I don't know why I like the smell, but you probably shouldn't be sniffing it.
Definitely should not be sniffing it.
Akaya says, hi. Is the Shiba packaging cat there the grey blue ones? It is in Scotland, and my wee bear is its double. We use the blue and pink, right?
Yeah, we use blue and pink.
Because Casper likes the blue, Asher likes the pink.
Very unintentionally gender-oriented, based on stereotype colors.
Well, Asher likes salmon. That's like her thing, but I don't think Shiva's technically like the best, but
they love it, and we feed them the healthy food outside of the wet food, so
we have
I feel like they get bets of both worlds.
I think it was Adam called it the McDonald's of cat food, but they do like it. Jen's making dinner with chicken, bacon, sausages, and mushrooms in a stew. A mushroom stew.
Well, I love using the crock pot.
Yeah, you make that like potato soupy stew thing. That's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Samantha, I'm in my 30s too. 34 to be honest. All right, so you get it, Samantha.
Yeah, 30s are great. Well, I hope your 30s are going as well as most of the people I know in their 30s. Okay, I think this is going to be like our base of the character. I mean, pretty standard. I can kind of see the direction this could go in, but I think I want to push it a little further.
I like her face a lot.
I never like my drawings being too plain, especially like Pretty Girl with Flowers, which is like the most generic of generics.
This is just a skeleton, we got way more to go. I mean, your reference panel for this is so pretty.
Yeah, so I have a bunch of images that I made on my own Discord. But I mean, really though, I'm just looking at I didn't take the picture, but I have a picture of my best friend Kat, and I'm using her as like the main reference for the pose.
That is such a good picture of Kat.
I know she'll be really upset with me if I don't capture her Asianness. So I gotta make sure I give the look, because I feel like I tend to make all my characters. I have the Final Fantasy syndrome where it's like same face syndrome, and it doesn't really bother me that much. But every now and then I feel like I should show that I can draw various forms in the face.
Novali says, hello guys. Hello, Novali.
Hello.
Tim, what do you recommend for achieving a drawing style? Could you talk about your personal path, please?
So, oh boy, my personal path is such a strange one. And originally let me take it all the way back. So, my sister was the one that first kind of guided me into wanting to do art when I was very little. She'd always sit and color with me, and then she would give me the techniques that she would learn, because she's 8 years older than I am. So, by the time I was like 7, she was 15, 16 years old. So she definitely had a much better eye than I did at the time. And I was really big into Halloween, and I think my whole family kind of helped foster that. So I always knew that art was my general direction, even from a young age. So then from there, I think maybe a lot of you have this if you were artists when you were younger. You kind of get labeled as like the kid who's good at art. And I had that pretty much my entire life, even through high school. And I think it kind of creates this weird notion that, of course, that's going to be your direction for art, and you don't like second guess it. So anyways, the style comes in when your mind's already in the mindset of you're going to be an artist, but then you start Frankensteining what has influenced you over the years and has kind of pushed you to continue pursuing art. So for me, a lot of that was things that I would see in video games and film. I would say those are definitely my two biggest inspirations outside of, other artists, obviously. So a lot of my style, I think, definitely borrowed heavily when I was younger from Tetsuya Nomura, who did a lot of the Final Fantasy game concept art. And then as I got older, it became this weird mix of I liked Muka a lot, Alphonse Muka. Or I just found out recently his name's not pronounced Muka, it's Mucha or something.
Mucha?
Yeah, isn't that strange?
Wait, no way.
Yeah, you can look it up. I'm sure some of you in the chat are like, well, yeah. I don't know if it was just my ignorance on it, but yeah, I always said Muka.
I always thought like Mocha Muka.
Well, apparently it's Mucha or something.
Weird.
I know. No disrespect to him, but he's been mispronouncing his name for years. Anyways, you start to realize, though, when you're younger, a lot of the times when you're copying an artist that you like, it's so similar that you're not really adding your own voice to it. So finding your style kind of happens when you start taking inspiration from like a plethora, like a sea of artists and work that really inspires you, and you start handpicking what you like about each one, and then you kind of morph it into your own style over time. And there will be things like, here, can you give me my chase drawing again?
The one you just did?
Yeah. So like even on this drawing, let me see if there's any. So you can't really see it probably too well, but the way that I draw faces and eyes, it's very Kingdom Hearts. It's very double iris, double pupil, or not double pupil, but the ring in the eye, I definitely stole from Kingdom Hearts and then kind of adapted it to my own way of drawing eyes. So I like really light, hazy looking eyes. And then hair is definitely like a mix of Art Deco and Mucha, and hair that's a little bit more fantastically layered, not so much in the realism sense. And then when it comes to color, I mean, I'm definitely inspired by more modern artists, I would say. My old roommate, actually, Gawky online, I think she's one of the best living artists today, digitally, next to some of my other friends. I mean, I have a lot of digital art friends that I think modern color use can either be really, really good or really, really bad. There's definitely a middle ground between them, but you can usually tell when looking at a color piece if it feels really good or if it feels like bad. So yeah, I think my style just developed from not only being around these art friends for color, but I think my own influences throughout my life. And then as you get older and you just put more into that bank of references in your mind, you can then withdraw whenever you need to. So yeah, I would say if you're looking to develop your style, don't look too hard. I think a lot of the times it's like looking within your own art while you're working on it. There will be decisions that you make that will help you decide, okay, I like how this looks, or I like how they render the nose. I'm going to, try out that. But then as you're rendering it, you're like, I don't like this part of it. I'm going to do this one slightly different. Engaging with that, with your style, is how I think you'll form it over time. I know, kind of a long-winded answer, but I feel like style is such a hard one to just answer quickly because I think it really does develop over time the more you work at it on your own pieces.
I think even yours, as much as it feels set in stone, you're still always adding to that even too. Like,
Yeah.
would you say it's something that you're probably always going to be changing up in a way?
Yeah, I mean, probably slightly. I think there will be some things like the way that I draw eyes, I like certain aspects, but I don't know if it'll change too much. But yes, I would hope that I continue to evolve. I do think a lot of artists, actually, and I could put myself in this bubble a little bit, when they hit a certain point in their career, I think they just get comfortable, and then that's when the growth kind of stops happening. So I'm doing my best not to allow that to happen, so I keep trying to challenge myself. That's why I have that 5-foot drawing upstairs, and that's why I keep trying to do bigger, newer things. Eventually, I would like to get into stained glass, but I think my next big adventure will be going back into color, and that's what part of what the chase drawing that I just showed you is kind of heading in that direction.
Something new.
Mm-hmm. Casper, I can't hang with you right now, okay?
Oh, Casper. All right, let's see. Jen says 20s are 30s without money, 30s are 20s without time.
Kind of true, actually.
I think because, like, once you're in your 30s, you're, like, starting to appreciate and enjoy life more, so time does feel way more valuable.
Well, I feel like,
I'm sure
too,
that just
usually when people hit
progresses.
30, they kind of know what they like doing during their day, and they just do that a lot.
I mean, yeah. Oh, Casper, hi, honey. He's, like, doing the shark thing with us right now. He's, like, circling us.
I'll take you outside for a little after the stream, okay, baby?
Barbara says, I love how you pronounce my username. Oh, gosh. My pronunciation's never good, so...
Pronunciations?
No, I didn't say pronunciations. I said...
Replay it back. Replay it back. Someone loop it.
Oh, no.
Actually, I don't even know how to do that. I'd have to watch it again on the stream.
I'm going to delete this stream.
Pronunciations.
It's actually Turkish for dragon.
Oh.
If you like to know how to pronounce it, think of the name Ezra. And just squeeze the between Z and R.
Ezdura?
Ezdura.
Is that it? Did we do it right? Ezdura.
Me saying EJ Dara.
EJ Dara. And welcome to stream, EJ Dara.
Hang on. I'm writing this down. As the Ra. I might start. Do you prefer Barbara or as the Ra? That's pretty cool. Turkish for dragon. Vincent, happy birthday, Josh. You definitely look like 20s. Oh, thank you. I'm fresh 30s, though, so it's like still in that cusp.
Oh, boy.
But it's nice getting carded still. I'll take it. You get carded still, too.
Which I don't know how at this point.
Adam Shore says, hey, guys, hope all is well. And just to wish a thank you. Since watching the streams, I've been making more and trying different things more.
Hey.
Putting work out there. And it all paid off. Just been offered my first professional gig. Oh my gosh.
Wow. Hey, good for you. Congrats. That's great. Where is it?
Oh yeah, actually, where are you at? Yeah, I feel like once you get that ball rolling, it just everything starts working out like that then.
Well, it's kind of a hard thing. I almost want to say like you get what you put in, but it's not always true in the art world. So it's great to hear that you actually were able to find something. Because I know it's been a little difficult for a lot of people right now.
Lyra says, on my way to work, why can't I be here forever? There will be the VOD. I know it's not the same, but...
The VOD?
Yeah.
What's a VOD?
Video on demand.
Those are called VODs?
That's what they... Yeah, that's what they call it.
I had no idea.
Yeah. Good to see you for a little bit, though, today. Oh, Felix is here. Hi,
Hello, Felix. How are you doing?
Felix says, my whole team got let go from work today, so I don't know what I'm doing with my life again.
Oh my gosh. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Maybe it's a sign to pursue painting seriously again. I mean, maybe, Felix, like, maybe this is kind of the thing you need to like, solidify that, I don't know, maybe that's what you need to work on? I don't know.
Oh my gosh. I am so sorry, Felix. Yeah. That is such a devastating thing to find out. Was it when you went into work and they told everyone? Gosh, that's terrible.
I mean, I'm hoping that they offer, like, some kind of compensation for you guys. Because, like, I don't know how it is for I know in the States, usually if a company does, like, a layoff, you get some kind of, like, 4-month compensation. That sucks, though, Felix. I'm so sorry. Wukong Katran says, I got into the Midjourney beta last night and had a mild mental crisis when I used it for the first time. I agree with everything you said in your video, but yeah, a little worried about my job.
Yeah. Oh, Hi, Casper. Hi.
Were you do you need this? You need
Oh, you
this
can
photo
move my
too?
pencil thing.
Oh, okay. Come here.
Oh, Casper.
He is
Just knock you 2 S's.
right. Oh. There he goes. All right. You need some sunshine. Oh, sweetie.
Pampered baby.
Maybe Clementine will show up today too. We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah, that was the scary part too. Like any kind of concept artist job, I'm scared just because it's like,
Well, and especially after hearing Felix lose his job, I'm like, I think there's gonna be a lot more of that in the future.
yeah,
I'm really nervous for a lot of my friends that are in the concept art division. Because yeah, as much as companies would like to keep, artists around, money talks, unfortunately, and it talks loud when it comes to Midjourney. Not even Midjourney. I was having a friend show me another one this past week, another AI generator called Disco Infusion, and it's slower than
Disco Infusion.
it's slower than Midjourney for sure, but the results I think are better. I mean, that's definitely with an asterisk at the end because you kind of have to know how to play with it. It's a little bit more work behind the scenes, but once you get it working, it's pretty nice. Yeah, I'm very nervous about the future for concept artists.
All right. Ezra says we got it correct. Perfect.
Ezra?
Yeah.
Ezra.
Ezra. Jen says, I think I heard somewhere that our brain experience differs throughout our growing up, basically making it feel like 30 years is like you have experienced half of your life already.
Yeah, I believe that. Because I feel much older than I think my age suggests right now. And it's weird. I think that's why I've been purposely trying to push myself. And I just watched this big video. You know what? I'll link it after the stream, but it basically talks about how, and maybe it's just because I'm at that age where it's like so easy to get comfortable, and a lot of my friends are in this situation too. But essentially,
Yeah, do not touch my sticky.
and I almost want to do a video about this just for artists as well. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention earlier, I'm looking to do more video content after our roommate moves out, because then it'll be super quiet during the day and the weekends, and then Josh can just go upstairs. Hi, Casper.
Oh, shoot. That's perfect right there. Yeah.
Right there.
Hi.
Okay, so essentially, the very center ring is comfortable. So let's put comfort. And then the very top ring is, I guess I would say, I think they use the word like overwhelming, but I'm going to put the word burnout because I think as artists we can relate to that more. So comfort and burnout. And then right in between is slightly uncomfortable. I'm writing this really small and horrible handwriting. So essentially, especially now, a lot of my friends and a lot of just Americans in general, we live in the center circle. And this video talks about how this is the worst thing that can possibly happen to you in terms of productivity and like being efficient. Because when you're in this bubble, why work harder than you can because you're already comfortable? There's no need to get out of that initial bubble. So it's like, yeah, you can hit the snooze longer. You can, not work as hard, and you'll still pass by. It's like a very coasting mentality. But then on the other side of it, if you overwork yourself and it's to the point where it's not only stressing you out mentally and physically, but your body is like giving out, this is called burnout. Or I think they called it, I forgot what they call it. I thought it was like overwhelming or something. And burnout is basically you work way too much, and it kills not only creativity, but your productivity. It's just not a great place to be in either. Casper, what are you doing? Is it?
He's like,
he's
guys,
like,
don't
can you
stress
stop
about
talking
it.
about this?
Don't stress about it. Give in to the comfort.
Oh, Casper. So essentially, I'm going to move this right under your paw, sir. So essentially, this center ring here, this is where you want to be. So you always want to be slightly uncomfortable in your day-to-day. And they say that that's how you'll not only do your best, but feel your best. And I think about that when I'm talking to some of my friends who feel like they've gotten lazy. Oop, Casper, do not bite the microphone.
Oh, there he goes.
Oh, this is going to be bad. I don't know.
Just let him figure it out.
Oh my gosh. Casper, nope. This is not happening.
Standing right on top of the piece.
So, I kind of conditioned him to do this as well. It's kind of a bad habit of his. Oop, come here, my baby.
Oh, he really wants you to get that. Oh,
baby,
gosh.
we gotta do a live stream, okay? Come on.
There he goes.
Oh my goodness. Sorry about that, guys. But essentially, you always want to be in a slightly uncomfortable zone. So, like I said, I think I'm going to do a video about this after probably sometime in July or August. Because I think it's a really good lesson for people to learn, especially as they feel like they're getting into more of a comfort zone. They don't really push themselves anymore. And that's when you see a lot of artists, I'm not going to name names, but you know who they are. They kind of just reproduce the same thing over and over. They just churn out the same subject matter, the same spit paint looking thing that maybe they just clocked in for the day because they don't have to try that hard anymore. And I don't think that helps artists progress in their field past that point. Yeah, they might be monetarily successful, or maybe even with like social media they might be successful, but they might not really be successful as like true artists. Maybe that's just an ego thing, maybe that's personal preference, but that's personally what I believe.
Actually, hang on, I'm timestamping that one quick.
Oh yes. I might pull out the powdered graphite sooner than later, actually.
Wait, but how? You'd actually like put it down now?
Mm-hmm.
And then keep drawing with pencil?
Mm-hmm. It'll get messy, but
Just
I'm here for it.
Casper's fur's like all over.
It's everywhere. Powdered graphite. Get my brushes.
Lyra says, I teach English as a second language at a university, but next semester I'll go back to pursuing art. Ooh. Wait, are you teaching in your home country then, or are you like traveling abroad doing that? Because didn't it was Carrie's ex, right? Went to Japan to teach English.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what he did? Okay. Adam says a little printing company in Manchester who designs tees and posters and merch for bands and upstart companies. So it's like mostly graphics, but with the lucky metal scene of Manchester. It's also a fair bit of illustration. Oh yeah, I mean you did the. Oh my gosh, you're doing. I didn't realize you were like just doing it. Damn.
Sometimes you gotta dive right in. I mean, these type of streams, it's whatever goes. And if it doesn't turn out, like I'm in such a good mood anyways, that, hey, at least I tried.
Works out. But yeah, Adam, that's cool. Actually, I know, Timmy, you did, what was the band you did? It was was it Metallica? You did the drum?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say that live.
Oh, well, I can say it live, though. I didn't sign the NDA.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, but that means then I told you.
Oh. That was like years ago.
Either way, no one will care now, but
they're like
technically I'm not supposed to say.
We literally get a message from them on this this chat right now.
I was gonna say they went after their fans for Napster. I wouldn't put it past them.
Oh my gosh, Napster.
So essentially, I'm just using a brush and I'm just kind of pushing some of this lighter value in. I'm not gonna go super dark with this drawing because I don't want my desk to get super messy today. But I'm going to do enough where we're going to add definitely some contrast.
Felix says... Actually, I think I missed someone. Here we go. Oh, Kat's here.
Hey.
VOD house. Video on demand house.
Yeah, Kat will be stopping by today as well.
Oh yeah, Kat, we get you today.
Get to help move that couch in the basement.
Do we tell Kat? Does Kat know that she is a reference for this or no?
Nope, and you just ruined it.
What?
Thank you, Josh.
You said it at the start of the stream.
Yeah, but Kat never comes at the beginning.
Oh my god. Hi,
No,
Kat.
I'm just kidding. Doesn't really matter.
We're getting NDAs, ruining friendships, you know.
Josh comes back on the stream for one time. Causes mayhem.
Felix says, I do get 2 months severance, so I'm financially fine.
Okay.
Oh, that's good at least. But I still need courage to take the plunge to pursue non-corporate art full-time now. Being an employee is more secure, but even then it's no guarantee. And you work in these projects that get canceled that no one gets to see.
Ugh, that's the worst part of it.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine putting the work in.
I mean, I was talking to Alan Williams about this because he's worked on many a movie, but there have been a lot of projects where he will do months of work for it, and then they use none of it. And he can't even really show it. I mean, he showed me, but I don't know if he was supposed to. And one of the best examples were there was this movie called Monster Trucks, where it was literally like a truck that becomes a monster. I don't know if any of you heard of it, but he did a bunch of designs for it. And in the end, they ended up going with this like cartoony looking monster truck thing, and they scrapped all of his designs. And they were really good designs too. For being like a monster car, they were really, really good. So yeah, I can only imagine what that must feel like, because I've had other friends who worked on games, and it will be like a 2-year project or an animation, and then they literally scrap it, or like the producers put it on hold, or it goes on hiatus, and yeah, they can't even really put it in their portfolios, and they can't do much with it. So sometimes it feels like a waste of time, unfortunately, and that's just terrible. I feel so bad. And honestly, Felix, I think you are good enough where you could do your own work and make a career out of it. I don't know how it is in the country you are with, like doing either more cons or doing more like online stuff, whether it's Patreon, YouTube, or any of those avenues of revenue, but I do think you could make it. I genuinely do. And I'm not just saying that to like boost your ego. I don't do that to people, I promise. If anything, people usually say I'm too harsh on people.
Kaya says, also a big thank you. Your battle stream helped me draw for myself again instead of just work. Granted, I'm drawing for work now, but baby steps.
Hey, well, if you want to join next week's art battle, that'll be another one of those, we're going to do a mid-journey prompt. We'll do it together on the stream live, and then everyone can battle alongside me and one of my fellow art friends. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I don't know, I can't confirm who it is yet, but I love doing them. They're kind of fun little challenges to keep your eye fresh and not get too comfortable, like I said.
And Kat, I challenge you.
That's right.
Art off.
So we thought it would be funny if at some point we do my boyfriend versus my best friend and literally have them battle, because neither of them have art as like their main career.
Kat is better than me though. I mean,
Kat
did
Kat
conventions
does art
for a little bit even. But you know what? Still, I'll take you on, Kat. We'll see what I can pull off.
Right? I'm very curious about that. Plus, it might just be more comical. So that might be more of a comedy stream. We'll probably do it next month.
We'll have some sangria, Kat. We know how Kat is with sangria.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I has that out anyways now. Now we can really talk smack.
I think she's coming here.
No.
Who?
I'm very excited about this. Kat's going to go train her now.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
See ya, Kat.
See you later, Kat.
Lyra says, I'd say my comfort zone at the moment is not drawing at all. My hands tremble too much, so I just stopped trying.
Oh. Okay. I'm going to give you a trick that I heard from one of my past roommates, and it's basically whenever you're feeling like you are hitting a wall or you're hitting your art slump or your art block, whatever you want to call it, your comfort zone is literally things that you genuinely enjoy drawing, even if you've drawn it, hundreds of times before. So for me, today is kind of a comfort drawing. It's like fantastical, flowers and hair, and the character is very fantasy based. So to me, this is very comfortable, and I'm not really like pushing myself, one might say. I mean, maybe powdered graphite a little bit because I don't work with powdered graphite a lot. But whenever you're not feeling great, oh, well, thank you, Vinicus Garcia. I hope I said that right, for subscribing. Yeah. What was I talking about?
Hitting the wall.
Yes, and comfort zone drawings. So I'm challenging you, instead of like thinking your comfort zone is not drawing in because it's easier not to do anything. Just draw something that you enjoy drawing, even if it's something simple. Like draw a flower. Go outside in your backyard, find a really pretty flower, and just draw it. And I think you'll see that sometimes it just is the getting started part that is the part that prevents us from creating it all. So if you can get past that initial block, usually you're pretty golden.
Casper is the best therapy cat. He truly is.
It's pretty good.
Oh, Candor's here. I'm writing student comments. What a timing to come in to say hello. Oh, that's probably when Casper was.
Who's here?
Candor.
Hey, what up, Candor?
It's 2:30 a.m. and I still have 20 students left to write for.
Oh my goodness.
Candor. You crazy.
Hey, Jonathan the Doll's here.
Mm-hmm.
What up, Jonathan? Yeah, Jonathan's got a great little job right now. He's working with Bobby Chu at, well, I don't know if it's specifically schoolism, right? And then you're also helping out with Lightbox
And we get to see Jonathan this year.
for the first
At
time.
last.
Yeah, right. Very, very excited about that.
Kat says, I will watch you guys move the couch. No. Kat, you and Tim are moving the couch? I'll lay down on it.
Yeah.
Jen says, the longest scrapped clip in Disney history is for the Turning Red movie, which was another intro for the movie.
How long was it?
I mean, that's crazy that you like make something and then it never gets used.
It happens all the time, too. That's like the weirdest part.
All right, everyone's down for the cat first schwa thing. Oh, that's right, Candor. We have the same birthday, don't we? Happy birthday to you.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we're both June 19th. Magical day.
Oh my gosh, YouTube's telling me now would be a good time to insert ads. No,
Let's
YouTube.
do it.
No, we're Josh clicks it. Do not
Buckle
click
up,
that.
everybody.
No, we're not throwing an ad on people.
All right, we won't do ads. Get out of here, YouTube.
The other thing that's kind of weird about powdered graphite is it creates this layer of graphite that you have to draw on top of, and sometimes it can make it, it's hard to describe it, like slippery when working with your pencils.
That's why I was so curious that you did it like from the start. I don't think I've seen you do it too often, like when you're near the start of a piece.
I mean, if I'm going to try to get better with powdered graphite, I might as well like throw myself in a situation where I have to work with it.
Yeah, I'd love to see it. Nino says about AI art, they all look the same, and apparently the words people put in there are the same vibe. That's why I suggested anime before. I mean, what will happen if you write Cubism or Pokemon?
If you insert a Pokemon, it'll definitely take the shapes and like the shape language specifically, and a lot of times the color, but they are monsters. They do not look like the Pokemon you are putting in. I don't think specifically Midjourney isn't great with anime yet, or at least not the ones that I've seen, because you can see publicly what other people are making. That could change. Who knows? But currently, I would say not the best. That's why, like, the more interpretative the prompt is, I would say usually it gives you a better result.
Yeah, I feel like I've learned you can't go in expecting it. No matter how you write it out, it's never going to look exactly what you're thinking it's going to be.
Yeah.
It'll kind of give you something different. But, oh my, there was the one Bulbasaur one, though, that I thought was really cool. It was like 100 Bulbasaurs in a field.
That was Wumbo.
That was Wombo, okay. That was pretty, though. Let's see, Kendor says, I was busy all week at work. I'm not even supposed to write them at home, but I have to finish them by tomorrow, so here I am. But I'm happy I was able to at least come by and say hi.
Hey, well,
Yeah, good to see you,
good.
Candor.
Yeah, good hearing from you again.
I feel like that's just... Do you have to be up early then too? I think that's the worst too, is like when you have to get work done, you're up late, and then you have to get up early though to do more work. And yeah, we do have the same birthday. Magical day for magical people.
Yeah, I actually kind of remember that from last year.
Yeah, Gemini twins. Jen says, biggest show of hostility is showing someone an ad.
Exactly.
Well, the thing that's really YouTube's doing now that I think is cruel is it'll do like the 2 ads, and you think you might be able to skip with the first one, but it times the skip just as long as the ad and then forces you into the next ad.
Oh, really?
I'm like, why even show the skip button thing then? The countdown? If you, it's not going to even happen.
Oh, actually, I have seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
I think that's so mean. Felix says, I guess my biggest fear is getting no commissions and no one being interested in prints. But I guess I will never know until I try.
Yep, that's it right there.
And I know it's like the biggest cliche, but there will probably be failures too. What was that thing? Oh my god, I'm blanking her name from Drag Race. Her whole like graduation speech.
Oh, Evie Oddly.
Evie, yeah, about failure.
I mean, it is very true. And especially in the art world. Oh, how do I put this? I guess, okay, I'll throw examples. Like, even where I'm at currently, I still fail with things that a lot of people won't know, though, because I'm not, like, posting about it. But I did this big run of tarot pins, and I did way more than I should have, thinking that they would do really well. Well, they bombed, and I overspent by, like, $7,000. So now that's just a cost I have to eat. Now, the thing is, I'm still going to make more mistakes like this in the future, and I'm going to have to eat more costs from decisions that are just not great ones. Now, mind you, obviously everything's, it's all about perspective. So when I was starting out, I was making the same kind of mistakes just on smaller scales. So just prepare yourself to make a lot of these mistakes on smaller scales, and just know that even successful artists or perceived successful artists are still making those type of mistakes, just different scale. And I kind of wish I would have known to tell that to people earlier, because I think a lot of even some of my art friends, they're so afraid of failing that they never try. But the problem is, if you want long-term success, at least from the friends that I have in the art career, it's failing many, many times over the course of your career. That's what will make you successful. Oddly enough, it sounds like it would be opposites, but it really is like taking a lot of failures to find out what is a success, and then you'll be able to repeat what works over and over.
Nino says, I mean, just please try to write something different. Oh, with AI art. Not necessarily the things I said. I'm really curious what will happen with words with different vibes.
Yeah, I mean, you'll get slightly different. It's more of like the artist that you input, I would say. So like you could put rabbit with flower crown, and it'll give you just basically like a kind of photo looking picture of a rabbit wearing a kind of looking photo crown. But it's really like when you input an artist, that's where it'll really try to pull from that style way of rendering. The problem is it doesn't work with, like, if you put in vonnart or Timothy Von Rieden or whatever, it doesn't work yet.
Doesn't know what to do with it.
Doesn't know what to do yet. I think with traditional stuff or things that are very simple, or pencil, it's not quite there. So like anime, for example, it wouldn't look the way that you think it might look, because if you've seen Midjourney, it's, basically just shooting out a really quick algorithmic prompt back at you with visuals, and you just can't do it yet. Maybe Disco Infusion, maybe one of these other ones, but from what I've seen so far, I think anime would be really tough to get.
I think because it's doing like a photo, in a way it's like making a photo collage of like hundreds of different drawings and putting it together into like one piece. It doesn't like make it just a simple anime scene or character yet. Yeah. And the faces never look okay.
No, they always look like hot garbage.
A little off, yeah.
Like if you get really lucky, you'll get a good face, but you have to get very lucky, honestly.
Yeah. I've had some that are really scary. Like the jaw will be over here, and then it's weird. Okay, or that 4-second ad, yes. Especially when you just want to check something or need a tutorial really quick. I saw it was either like a TikTok or one of those Instagram reels, but it was someone had to give someone CPR and they didn't know how to do it, so they were like, "Oh, I'm gonna pull up YouTube for a tutorial," and they had to sit through ads, and it was like the second ad thing.
Actually, shame on whoever made the CPR video of putting ads on it.
I think, does YouTube force ads for videos now though? No, like you can actually choose. Okay, I didn't know that. I thought like YouTube kind of just forced it now.
As far as I know, I don't know if there's at least for my videos, yeah, you still have the option of ads on or ads off.
I know like Twitch forces them at the start, like
Yeah,
when you
Twitch,
first
you
click on
can't.
a stream, but then the creator can choose when they are run for people already actively watching, but yeah, I don't know. Jonathan says, "Hey guys, yes, I have many roles for Schoolism and Lightbox, from social media, voiceovers, and some hosting events on the Discord. Tim might have a wee thing of interest for you, actually."
Oh.
And Jonathan says, "Absolutely loving it. Thriving."
I mean, you seem like that would be your type of, like, you would be so good at that type of a position. Because you're really good with people, you're really nice.
You have a good voice for voiceovers,
You have a great voice for voiceovers. You're very calming. Your personality is very calming. You kind of have this aura where people want to be around you because you're excited about what you do, and I think you get other people excited to like work on whatever project they're working on or whatever they're drawing. So yeah, no surprise that it's going well at Schoolism.
And I'm so sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm gonna try it. Sinabik says hello from Ukraine.
Oh, hello. Oh, from Ukraine.
Yeah, hope you're doing okay.
Yeah, hope you're in a good area.
Says your art is the best.
Oh, thank you. I'm more concerned about where you are right now.
You're like going through it right now. Oh, Jonathan, big love to you all. Cheers, you guys. Yeah.
See what I mean?
I'm so excited. Right? Like, endearing. Yeah, I'm excited to see you. It's going to be, gosh, I mean, October is going to be here before we know it. Actually, because, yeah, Tim and I feel like these next couple weekends we have a lot going on, and then we have a convention after that. So I feel like October is going to, like, really creep up on us.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm pretty excited.
Jonathan says, "I'll drop you a DM, Tim. Could be a cool opportunity." Ooh.
Oh, yes. I know, I've been so bad at my DMs the past, like, 3-4 weeks.
Adam says, kind of bouncing off Felix's fears too, that's a big fear of mine, because with the new job I get weekends so I can start doing cons and fairs, but I'm scared of the lost profit margin.
Ugh. I mean, trust me, I'm in the same boat with you guys. I think I'll probably be able to sidestep more of it, like the more I thought about it, because I work primarily traditionally. And we've already done a few cons where a lot of artists' work has come into question on if it was AI generated or not. And since I can kind of prove that, my stuff isn't, digitally created, I actually think it might help us look more niche when we go to shows. But I have a lot of art friends right now that I'm very nervous for them right now. I'm not going to say their names, but I would say at least 2 for sure that I'm very concerned about. And then basically any of my other friends that just work primarily digital, I think there will always be that question now when people see their work of, was this created with an AI art generator, sadly.
It's going to be interesting.
I feel so bad.
Yeah, well, I mean, we already know it's going to get better and better, though, too. Like, it's probably to get to a point where it can do, like, pencil or graphite looking illustrations.
But even then, like, because of the YouTube channel, because of like me capturing a lot of how I draw over the years. Like I can prove that I did it by hand still.
I mean, yeah. I think people are still going to like that feeling of it being hand touched.
I've already seen it. Like even with Instagram, I've had like just on the discourse about Midjourney, because I've posted twice about it. And that's been kind of one of the reoccurring things is if you're a traditional artist, this might actually make you look better in contrast.
Well, I was pondering this too some more after, because like obviously all this AI stuff, but I was even thinking about, like, think about pottery and stuff. We are still willing to pay more for an actual handcrafted, like, let's say mug or a vase or something that was pottery, knowing we probably can get something similar at like Walmart or Target, but we still, there's something intrinsic to like knowing
Actually,
it's
yeah.
handmade. So you know, like pottery, you think about that, like they can machine make those things like crazy now. Even like plates and there's so many other things you could think of that are made in mass production now that we still would pay more for like a hand version of it.
Actually, that's a great example, yeah.
Yeah. It's Slavic. Yeah, I wish I could pronounce it. I'm sorry. I botch names all the time in here too, so I feel like I need to stop like botching the names. Candor's heading out. Good to see you, Candor.
Bye, Candor.
Yeah, get some good rest. As the Ross says, fear of failing has always been my biggest obstacle in life, and I know that I missed many opportunities. It's so difficult to overcome something that has become second nature, but I'm working on it.
I mean, you're so good anyways that I'm not too worried about you. You just gotta put yourself out there.
Hi, Casper.
Casper, hi.
Nice, sweetie.
It used to be perfect because he used to sleep around this time every day, but now he's been waking up at noon, like noon 30. So he's kind of a problem now on Wednesdays.
Yeah,
Do you see this?
Oh my
god.
god.
So he does this all the time to me. And I get that it's like right in front of me, so he wants to take my attention and like make me look at him.
There's gonna be like little powdered graphite paw prints all over.
Yeah, right.
Hi.
Actually, Casper, you really probably shouldn't be touching graphite.
Yeah, that's probably not
So
good.
some of you may not know this, but graphite is considered pretty dangerous, and you shouldn't be like inhaling it. Well, thank you, Katrina Shaw, for subscribing.
Hi, honey. You just need some petting and love right now. Yeah, you're feeling a little lonely.
Oh, Casper.
We just have a 2-hour stream and it just sends him overboard. He doesn't know what to do with himself right now.
Well, it's fine. Most of the day, he'll leave me alone for the most part. He's been worse lately, though. But whenever he hears me talking, he thinks that's like an invite to come see me. I don't know if he thinks I'm talking to him, but he does this all the time.
Do you think Tim's talking to you? That's so cute. Adam says, I think it's also a scare factor with a friend who just did a print fair, and it was a fair chunk per day per table, and with cost of print, even though she does like a lot of fan service art, she barely broke even with the cost and production cost to items sold.
Ugh. Yeah, I mean...
Oh, here, I don't want him getting on that, though. Yeah, Casper.
Casper. Oh, now he's got to get over the cord.
No.
Oh, this
Casper,
is a
you're stuck.
challenge.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so
There we go.
Yeah, because I don't want him to be, like, getting the graphite in his paw, and then he, like, licks it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, I know at least for the cons that me and my friends have done stateside, it hasn't affected us too much yet. But I think it will start affecting us more in the coming weeks and for sure months and years.
I do think, too, it's like... Because even over the years, you've talked to learning how to do things, not for cheaper, but, like, you start learning your margins and how to, like...
Yeah, I mean, that definitely takes a part of it,
min-max
too.
it all. Yeah.
Like, the weird thing about being an artist in today's age, I mean, mind you, it's an amazing time to be an artist and an amazing time to be alive in general, but specifically for an artist, because there's so many different ways you can make money and just finding out what works best for you. Oh, this eye looks terrible. Hold on. But the weird thing, though, about it is you kind of have to become a business person and, like, unless if you go to school where they help teach you some of those tactics, you really have to find a lot of that out on your own. So yeah, learning things about like profit margins, cutting costs, bulk ordering, and why that saves you money. I think splitting costs between friends can be huge. I mean, even though like I'm doing pretty okay for myself, I would say, I still split, Airbnbs with a lot of my art friends still, and we share a lot of not only group homes, but if we're ever flying to places together, we try to make it as efficient for everyone as we can. So you got to kind of have each other's backs. So I do think finding a good art crew is very important to success as an artist. And there will be really cranky ones out there that say, "Oh no, I've made it on my own, blah blah." I don't want to hear it. Everyone makes it from helping each other, and the sooner that you find a good group that you can grow and thrive together with, I think the sooner your path can start to go into a higher speed.
I mean, I think the Airbnbs alone is crazy when we do group ones.
Yeah.
Because it goes from like, if only 2 or 3 of you are staying at it, it could have been like $400 a night per person. Where when we get like a group of like even 6 or 7 of us, it goes down to like only $150 per person for a whole weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like cutting those expenses out helps, but
yeah.
And then I guess
true.
even for you is figuring out too like what shows near you actually are worth doing too. So like since your friend did that, maybe that show isn't actually worth doing then, because maybe the table price is just really high or inflated more than it needs to be for what the show actually returns for you. Mm-hmm. That's one thing too with having a group of people too, is if you have a friend that does a con that didn't go well, like maybe that one's just not worth us going to. Because I feel like there are some cons that people just don't buy as much into art as they do into like other things at that show. So I don't know. It's all.
I mean, that's very true. I think having the group of friends. I mean, me and my friends all share our numbers with one another, not as like a competitive, ego stroking trip, but as in a kind of a learning opportunity, and for us to kind of know where everyone's numbers are at. Because if everyone's doing kind of bad, okay, well then maybe this isn't a show we should go at. And I remember way back when one of my friends told me they did very well and the rest of us were doing, okay. Then it wasn't the show that was the problem, it was us. And we had to kind of level up to match the numbers that this other artist was making. So, yeah, try to use your friends as an opportunity to not only help you save money, but to grow and learn from, because I really do think it makes it so much easier down the line.
Candor. Oh, I hope we get to play together soon and have a fun rest of your day. Candor and I have played Dead by Daylight a few times. Actually, I'm starting.
Oh, really?
I played this morning really quick because they have a huge patch coming out. So definitely will hit you up, Candor, because I'm kind of getting back into it again. I took a little bit of a break from the game. Jonathan. Oh, we're getting some Jonathan wisdom.
Hey.
To those of you needing a wee boost, you are more powerful than you think. Carve out some time to think on the next achievable step for your goal. You've got this. Get after it.
Yeah. Maybe kind of like what Jonathan's saying, like take a step back from what you're doing and then analyze it in a different light. Or maybe even bring in some other people to see like what their thoughts are. Like maybe, elevator pitch them your idea of what you want to do and then hear the feedback that they have to give.
I think the achievable steps are really good too. Mm-hmm. Not focusing... We do focus on the big picture a lot, but sometimes we do need to focus on that. Like, what's the next thing I could do to progress myself, I guess, towards that bigger picture, but not... Sometimes you want to take on everything at once to get to there immediately, but...
Everything, everywhere, all at once.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jonathan says, on that note, Tim, LinkedIn, my girlfriend landed her job in the industry from there as a 2D games artist.
It was weird. For college, we were required to make a LinkedIn way back in the day. I never used mine because I got a job right out of school. But it's good to hear that it actually works, because I don't hear a lot of people getting their jobs actually through LinkedIn. So maybe it's like coming back? Is that a thing now? Do a lot of you have it?
I know you get like notifications from it still.
Do I
They get
really?
emails, but I think it's just like someone posted something, so it's not like directly to you.
Oh,
but,
okay. So it's not like job opportunities.
But maybe worth for you just keeping an eye on that too. Not that you're looking for a job per se, but
I will
like
eventually want to work
opportunities,
on
maybe.
some kind of a film, but it's weird. I feel like a lot of the industry is who you know kind of a scenario. Not always, as we've seen obviously with what Jonathan's saying, but a lot of the times when I was working at CG Cookie, when they would need another concept artist to work on something, they would just ask me, who should I hire? And I would just basically tell them one of my friends.
Can you put a portfolio on LinkedIn or like upload something, or do you have to link to?
It's probably a link to your website.
Okay.
At least I would assume. I have no idea, actually.
Ella says, let Casper sign the piece with the graphite. Value will drastically increase. Touched by cat paw. I mean, it'd be cute to have little cat paws, but...
I feel like the vegan police would come after me.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Like, you're not being a vegan correctly. You're letting your cat touch graphite.
We can do finger paint with the cats sometime. Would be cute though.
Mm-hmm.
Let them just walk across a big canvas or something. Jen says sometimes you are eating something good, and then you remember a gross imagery from a horror movie you watched, and now you are not hungry. Yeah, grumpy because your pleasant dinner got interrupted. Oh my gosh. I mean, definitely, like, watching horror movies while eating isn't always the best idea. Jonathan says, Tim speaks truth. Share your resources. Be a good team player, and that will really look after you. It's how I landed the opportunity where I currently am. Very unexpected, but big thanks to the LBX Discord folks.
Mm-hmm. I'm so excited. I have always heard such good things, too, about Lightbox. This will be our first year going. Hate that it's in October, but love everything else about it.
Jonathan says, LBX connections, Tim. They do refilm jobs? Do you know what that means?
No, say
like
it
LBX connections.
Lightbox connections.
And then Jonathan wrote refilm jobs.
No, I don't know if I know what you're talking about.
Oh, is that like the channel maybe? Is film jobs?
Oh, gotcha.
Oh,
the re isn't, yeah.
Yeah, regarding. Okay.
Gotcha.
I mean, worth checking out.
I mean, like I said, I'm not in any position to want to do films right now, but in the distant future, yeah, I could definitely see myself, at least one. I think it would be cool to at least say I worked on one movie in my life. Who knows? I mean, maybe that would be like my own type of a movie. We'll see if I can actually finish one project, though, before I jump into another one.
As the Ross says, I literally have a sticky, and I wrote it out. So every time I see it, I'm like, I'm ready. As the Ross says, luckily my husband is supporting me, and together we're thinking of ideas, like making prints, cards, etc., etc. The only thing I lack is artistic friends.
Honestly, you gain a lot of them just by putting yourself out there.
Oh,
well,
Zena,
thank you,
so
Zena, the sassy crafter, for subscribing. Yeah, just putting yourself out there, whether it's cons or online discords. I feel like that's how you eventually find people that are kind of on your same wavelength. And you find other artists that are wanting to pursue whatever speed you want to pursue. So I feel like a lot of the times we feel like we're either going faster or slower than the people around us. And it can be frustrating, especially if you feel like the people around you are slower. And it's not their fault. You know, everyone's got to go at their own pace. So it doesn't mean that they're wrong. It just means I think you need to you need to find other artists that are wanting to go faster.
And then Ezra says, on that note, what is better, printing your own prints or going to a professional printer?
Yeah, this
That's
is a debate me and my friends get into all the time. I personally like printing them myself, or I guess now I kind of passed it on to Josh. But for the longest time, yeah, I was doing it by myself in the basement, and there's a few things that I like about self-printing. One, the more obvious one is like you can edit and you can print whenever you want, like, especially if you finish a drawing, like, you know, a night or two before the con, you can make prints of it without having to worry about, you know, rush shipping from somewhere else. And you don't even know if the quality is going to be good if you get it ordered through someone else either. So yeah, I would say I prefer self-printing, but my friends that do off-site printing, they love it, and they love the ease of it. They love just getting in the mail and then having it ready for shows. I also like putting personal touches, though, on every one of the prints. So not only do I gold all the prints, but then I sign all of them. I think there's something a little, like, even if you order them, I still think you should at least sign them. I know one of my friends, Sean, got in trouble because he doesn't sign his prints, and someone ordered a print from him online, and then when they got it, they actually gave him a bad review because he didn't sign it. Well, God, advantages, disadvantages.
I think one advantage, especially for graphite, is we have an issue with a lot of different printers where it comes out a weird color.
Yeah, like slightly blue, slightly green.
Blue, yeah. So I think sometimes having that comfort of like, you can print one as a test and you know it's going to look like that for the rest of them. Mm-hmm. Where I think there's that fear of ordering from a printer of like the color could come out weird and then you have 100 prints that are the wrong color.
Yeah. I will say probably it's most likely more cost efficient doing offshore printing or offsite printing. As much as I want to promote, you know, printing it yourself, I do think it's cheaper getting it made somewhere else.
We would really have to research like the cost, especially for your same print size, stuff like that.
Based on like a lot of the friends that I talk to, it's probably cheaper. But it comes with those risks, though, that we're talking about. Like, you might order it, and then, yeah, it comes in, but then literally one of your prints that you ordered 50 of, they're all ruined. So, yeah, I try to bypass that as much as possible.
Yeah, that would not be fun.
No. Especially right before a con.
And we've had canvases, wrong colors.
Mm-hmm.
Metal prints even came in with wrong colors on them.
And those are expensive. Those are like $230 a pop.
Yeah. Wukongotron says, I worked on 2 films. It's both rewarding and humbling. You disappear into anonymity in those credits.
Are you allowed to say what films you worked on?
Yeah, that's really cool.
That's
I
awesome.
could see that, though. Like, you just feel like your name in the credits. But at least you know, and the people that are around you know what you put into it.
Yeah, because, I mean, truly, at the end of the day, it's like how you feel about it. God, I hate that expression, though. And I use it more than I should, but I hate the at the end of the day saying. Because it usually like implies like, oh, if something's really bad, but at the end of the day, it's for, you know.
Oh, I guess. I think it's honest, though. Because no matter what you make, it could be amazing. I feel like you're never going to get the credit you feel like you need for it. So it's always coming back to like the humbleness of like, I don't need that as long as I feel good about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to try to like comfort stateside people or Americans, but I think we have been conditioned a little bit to receive more accolades than we may deserve. I know I've talked with my friends about this a lot too, about we grew up with, you know, participation trophies and a lot of successful validation with minimal effort. And I think that's kind of affected us in our adult life where we're doing minimal amount of effort, expecting praise, but instead receiving the opposite and then being like really flustered about it. And I guess that's one thing I will say about the art world. Like, you really do have to put a lot of time and effort into this. This is not something I would recommend. Like, I remember back when I was in my mid-20s, I was talking about if I ever did have kids, I would actually not want them to be an artist, to be honest. I think it's very difficult, and I think you really have to find and carve a niche to make it. And usually I hear horror stories. I mean, I went to a school with a bunch of artists that they no longer do art and they're working in other fields, or they went back to school for something else because they couldn't make it in the art world. It's competitive, it's difficult, and especially with AI art, I don't know where things are going to go for artists in the future, at least for concept art for sure. But then even for independent artists, I mean, kudos to like everyone that we're talking to in the chat as well. It's like we know how difficult it is, and I think that's where that fear comes from. So
The
I
fear is
feel
like
ya.
an instinct almost in a way. So it's like
And I'm
a
telling you
good
though,
thing
if you can
though.
get past that, it is so rewarding. It's so rewarding.
I think being aware of the challenge is like a good start
Yeah,
for anyone.
like I guess for reference for anyone, when I did my first few cons, my first one I made $800, and mind you, my expenses were probably like 400 or 500, but I didn't care because in my mind, I hit the gold mine. Like to me, I made it. I was like, I could just make $800 at every con if I just do a con every weekend, and I'll be set. Come to learn that cons are kind of exhausting, and I definitely could not do one every single weekend, especially now in my 30s. Uh, but it was so rewarding. I think seeing those little moments as rewarding, and then as soon as you get back home, it's like, okay, how can I beat that goal? Because I think the worst thing you can do is compare yourselves to artists that are like doing super well, and that's why I feel so bad for artists comparing on Instagram or any social media platform. Because how can you not look at someone like Ross or Loesch or Miles or any of those that have a million plus followers and not think I'm no one. I have 5,000 followers and just get really defeated right away. I'm so glad I didn't have social media when I went to school because, yeah, I would have been chasing the number just like it seems like every artist is nowadays too. Uh, so, yeah, try not to give up on it and don't compare yourself too much to others and really compare yourself to your own goals and like your own um, successes. So if you hit 800 at a con, that next year at that same con, try to hit 900, Those kind of steps are really what make it worthwhile and rewarding because then who cares what anyone else makes? If you made more than you did last year, that's a success.
I mean, yeah, you've definitely. I feel like your start isn't as glamorous as I think people might think it is.
No, I think a
Yeah.
lot of people think I come from like this rich family and um, I don't know the perception of me. I'm sure it's something along those lines, especially since I draw these like gaudy, over the top fantasy illustrations. But like I love very small living. Like Josh and I are probably gonna live in this house till we die. It's not a huge house, but it's big enough.
It's perfect.
I like a little garden. I actually like winter in Wisconsin. I'm not someone that's like, oh, I need sun all year long. To me, I'm like, I like being forced inside and snuggling up with a video game and I don't know.
I'm so excited.
Anyways, I'm kind of
We have good neighbors.
getting off the path
now
here.
we're going like
Yeah.
Now we're getting all sentimental. I will say too, the whole follower thing. We have friends that like barely have any followers on Instagram, but they do really good at conventions because their work's really good. But they just don't put any energy into their social media.
You know
So
what?
It's like
I can say that example.
yeah,
I have a friend Pui. Him and I started cons together, and literally, he and I make pretty similar numbers throughout the year, and most of the time, he makes more than me at cons. He has like what 5,000 followers on Instagram.
yeah, like barely.
So just know there's an artist that only has like 5,000 followers on Instagram, but is making like 250K a year. So
Yeah, I think that's the
try
thing.
not
If
to
you're
get
doing
discouraged.
conventions and stuff, I think what the issue is people think they have to hit a point on Instagram before they can even like look into doing these cons. And I do think some of the conventions, unfortunately, like do look at social media as like
They do.
acceptance, but a lot of them don't, and a lot of them don't care. So
Actually, not enough because
Yeah.
Pui wouldn't be accepted at any of them then.
so I think that's another aspect too of like, if you're making good work and you're working your technique and you're improving, I think you could do really good at a con and only have one follower on Instagram. So
Mm-hmm.
don't get too hyper focused on followers. Let's see. Jonathan says, Tim, a question I wish I'd asked before now. What one piece that you've created in graphite and gold do you resonate with the deepest?
Oh gosh, Jonathan, come on. I get this question at cons a lot, and I feel like every con I give a different answer because I don't know if I can answer like what is my favorite piece that I've done. I can say like what I'm most proud of. It would probably be like Woodland Youth 3. I felt really good about doing that because it was like challenging on a lot of levels. Honestly, I feel like a lot of the fun drawings I've done, like my Pumpkin Butcher or not Pumpkin Butcher, my Fallbringer.
What about the always on your mind one?
Yeah, so my first one, actually, yeah, I'll state that one because to this day, that's the one that like turned my path completely. I don't even know if I have a picture of it in here.
I can link it.
Oh, wait,
like,
it's on my first book.
DeviantArt or something. Oh, you have the book up here. Okay.
Actually, I probably should promo. If anyone of you guys want to look at my art book collection, I have 4 of them out. And the cover of my first book. So this was my always on my mind drawing. So the reason why this is so sentimental for me is because I did this. Oh God, I'm getting graphite on it. I'm making it worse. That's okay. I'll Windex it off. I did this drawing after meeting Alan Williams it must have been 2014. And it was at Spectrum. I met him, I met Brahm, I met basically a bunch of older artists that are in the fantasy field, and they are just phenomenal. I think they're like living legends. And Alan Williams specifically, I came up to his booth, and it was an entire pencil booth. And that like floored me because I always got the assumption that, you know, people saw sketches and drawings done by pencil as like underdrawings or like waiting to be colored or unfinished. And to see an entire booth that literally was all pencil and like the opposite in what I preconceived in my mind was phenomenal. So then when I went home, I started drawing this drawing, and it like broke the rules that I was taught in college about realism in terms of like lighting and shading. And I was just trying to have fun with it. And it was so fluid drawing this. It was just organic from start to finish. So and then when I posted it online, it got like triple the reaction I ever got on my other drawings, and they were all digital color, and a lot of them were fan art. And for this drawing to get a better reaction than any of those, it like, to me, my path was set. It like was going one direction and then took like a hard opposite direction. Mm-hmm. And then, yeah, throughout the years, I started incorporating my pencil drawings in my booth, and it was all because of this one. And I guess the meeting I had with Alan Williams. Yeah, because this book it's very shallow, so I wasn't doing a lot of pencil arts in these years. But it's funny, you see the difference in this book size to the next book. I'm going to graphite on all of these.
Oh, no.
Sorry, books. Thankfully, this is my personal collection. And then this was my... Here, wait, let me move it up. So then this was my second book. So you can see the difference in how much I was drawing traditionally from my first book to my second book. It like... damn near more than doubled.
You're on fire.
Well, because once I kind of found my direction, I was just going with it. And then if you look at my most recent one, it's huge. It literally is like triple this one at least.
I think that's quadruple, honestly.
Yeah. And I think that's like the magic moment that I hope a lot of you guys can find in your career is when you go from not really knowing what path you are going or like what your voice even is in the world and like what you want to add to this already oversaturated market of doing art. And once you find that you feel like you have a purpose, I mean, man, it's beyond rewarding. Like, obviously, if you're looking in like the existential way of things, it's like, yeah, nothing really matters. We're all going to die. Eventually, everyone will be forgotten. But you know what? Things should matter while you're alive. And I think having fun and making the most out of it is at least the path that I'm going to keep going down, because I'm having a blast. So I'm going to keep going down this path until I die.
It's pretty good.
Oh, I just saw the artist that said what movies. You worked on Kubo and the Two Strings and Isle of Dog. You work at Leica. What? That is awesome. Leica is literally one of my favorite studios. Were you a puppeteer, or were you a crafter, or were you a makeup department, or were you a rigger? I'm so curious. I've seen like every documentary, basically every movie that they make. I always watch the behind the scenes from start to finish. That's crazy. Well, welcome. Just know I was a big fan. And actually, Isle of Dogs. Oh no, Isle of Dogs was Wes Anderson.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Oh God, you got to work with Wes? That is awesome. Well, if you ever need a pencil artist on any of those movies in the future, let me know. Honestly, though, like Wes Anderson, even though he's probably my favorite director, I don't think you would ever really need a fantasy graphite artist, you know.
I mean, who knows?
Maybe for like a poster for one of his movies, or like a promo thing for like a social media campaign.
I really still think you could design like an outfit though, or like a dress or something. You know, like you could do the concepts for.
You know, a lot of his
outfit, I
movies
guess.
are more like based in reality. Like even his most fantastical, like Grand Budapest. I mean, it's still like
Yeah,
hotel
it's not
lobby.
like overly lavish or anything, but
They're gorgeous. Don't
I
get
mean,
me wrong.
I loved the one we saw last year. I blinked on the name of it, but
Come on, you know it.
I know I don't know why I'm blanking on the name of it right now though. I love that movie though.
First word is French.
Oh, French Dispatch.
There you go.
See, that's all I needed. You got me. Felix says, I don't know if it's just me, but I go on Instagram less and less. It just feels like a TikTok repost site now.
That's what
I
my
feel ya.
cousins have been saying too.
Jen says there is a toxic mindset among newer artists where they are jealous of artists with big following, assuming that followers translates to more income, which isn't necessarily true at all. Yeah.
No. And in my experience, it's actually not true at all. I think having a larger following can give you definitely bigger Kickstarter numbers. Like, I think there is financial gain with having numbers for sure, but it definitely does not define it by any means. Absolutely not.
Oh, Wukanga John says, thank you. I did mostly armature and some modeling and costume too. Just depends.
That
Oh my
is
God, that's so
awesome.
cool. What's armature?
Armature is like, okay. My stream
Sticky.
sticky notes. I feel like I could explain this simpler, but for some reason I really want to draw a stick figure right now. Okay.
Oh, it's like a little gingerbread man.
Yeah, so you take your gingerbread man, right?
Yeah.
So this is like the skin, the outer layer, what people see. So underneath, you have this Terminator-looking rigging system. And it's this basically metal skeleton.
Creepy, but cool.
They usually look something like this. I'm sure there's more complexity up here a little bit, at least for the ones that I've seen in the behind-the-scenes stuff. So that armor skeleton armature is the wiring.
Oh.
So this is how they move it. So then you move the wiring underneath the skin.
Oh, so you gotta be like really smart to work with these things.
You got to make sure that what you build is like not only accurate but precise and functional. Yeah. Well, congrats. That's awesome. Love hearing that. I love talking to other artists that are in different fields than I am. I think it's so fascinating. So.
And you're not just another name in the credits now either. We all know.
No, do not ever see yourself as another name in the credits. You helped make that film possible. So thank you for that, because those films are phenomenal.
That's why I think movies have such a magic, because it's this like collective of so many different minds and people and in all these different departments coming together. I mean, you have music, art, you have... I mean, there's so many aspects to a movie. I think that's so cool. The actors and... I don't know. It's so magical.
I agree. I'm right there with you on that.
Jonathan says, I think my colleague CJ is in your neck of the woods soon, Tim.
CJ Henry or which CJ? I feel like I know a few.
I always love hearing people come to Wisconsin.
Oh, you mean like literally Wisconsin? Oh, why?
Is in your neck of the woods? I'm guessing maybe just visiting then? I don't know. It could be visiting or living. I don't know.
Because there's definitely no con in Wisconsin happening that I know of.
Felix says, not that Instagram was ever particularly geared towards artists anyways. You know, I feel like it tried. We can give it credit for that.
I know. I actually really liked
did.
Instagram back in the day.
I mean, the reality is too, it's like, it's a business, so you can't necessarily fault them for changes. They clearly know, like, right now, people are really loving, like, TikTok reposts or whatever it is, you know?
Ugh.
But it's unfortunate because it messes with everyone who makes a living.
It just, I mean, obviously Facebook bought it, and Facebook is going to care about numbers at the end of the day. There's the saying again.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. At the
end of the day.
so let's raise our glass.
So let's raise our glass. So it's a little unfortunate because I think it is kind of hurting artists right now, where now we're having to become video editors, especially with Reels and TikTok kind of becoming the main two platforms. It's weird that as artists, a lot of us feel conditioned to adapt to whatever platform is performing well. I think this is another video I wanted to make for YouTube is talking about how I think we're in the age of commercialism, and right now artists can't fully be artists. They have to be essentially social media content creators. And it's very weird. It's a very weird division because it becomes very obvious when an artist is, I mean, I've done it. I'm not even outside of this. But when an artist starts doing like video content or doing something out of the normal, and it feels off and it feels forced, and a lot of us are being pushed in this position where we have to do it. Thankfully, I actually like doing video editing, so it kind of worked out for me. I think a lot of my reels, I think why they've done decently is because it's really easy for me to just film myself while drawing and then snip it together with a song that I've been impacted by lately. So I didn't feel that bad of a change, but some of my friends hate video content and hate making videos. So obviously they're gonna be the first to like really be affected by that. And their numbers are, I mean, not that mine are doing good either, but a lot of my friends have been affected by this algorithm shift. And if you're not making video content, it's tough because how do you get ahead on social media? But then it goes back to what Josh was saying, where we shouldn't be using, Instagram as our, what's that called? Our like scale, our range, or no?
Not sure how it was.
Of like who's doing well and who's not.
Yeah.
Because it's very deceiving. You would think, oh, well, because I have more followers than most of my friends, that I'm doing the best, but that's not the case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all, I don't know. The reality is, just having followers on Instagram doesn't make you money. Like, you still have to put in effort in other areas on too, which is, well, like you said, it helps, but it's not like...
Definitely helps for Kickstarters and stuff. I can't deny that. But in terms of like cons, people could care if you don't even have an Instagram. If anything, that might actually help your like prestige and the look of what you do.
Jonathan says, yep, this weekend she's visiting.
Really? So CJ Henry is one of Nate's favorite artists, my friend Nathan Von Braun. She's a really big New York artist.
Is it... Oh, wait, CJ's in the... CJ, if you're here... CJ Ellison?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was going to say, CJ Henry is... I'm like, why would they be here? They're like a huge New York gallery artist.
Well, welcome, CJ.
Well, hello, CJ Ellison. How are you doing?
I'll be in Milwaukee over the weekend. Goodbye, Illinois. I'll see you next week.
Oh, you're in Illinois. That's where I basically went to school and then lived in Schaumburg for like 7 years and kind of in that area. So I'm curious to hear where possibly you're from, if you don't mind disclosing that publicly.
Well, I hope you enjoy Milwaukee. Ella says, the charm and perks of Instagram get lost in their strive to become more like other platforms, in my opinion.
True.
And when it's just like a bad copy and mix of every other media, I think people will leave. I definitely think we're seeing it already, too. I think a lot of people are kind of ditching it.
I would say, I know I talked to my friend, her name's Devin L. Kurtz, and she thinks Twitter is like the new move, the new shift. So I've been putting way more effort towards that.
Ugh.
What?
I just don't I don't think Twitter is fun. It's just like, maybe I need to like cater my Twitter more, but when I go on, I'm like kind of bored. If I'm using social media, it's usually for me like a moment of entertainment. I think that's why TikTok, I honestly hate TikTok, but I also really like it.
I was gonna say though,
it's
like,
so time consuming sometimes.
you don't technically even
track.
need to go on social media.
I don't. I really don't go on Instagram that often. I'm really behind on messages on there too. But
Well, you're behind on messages everywhere.
pretty much, yeah.
If people think I'm bad at getting back to people, you are by far worse than I am.
I'm pretty bad.
You're pretty
I
bad.
kind of miss the day of just having a house phone.
Landline?
Yeah, leave me a message on the voicemail.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know, Tim. Landlines are pretty nice now.
I mean, people forget when we were younger, we literally had to talk to our friends' parents and then be like, hey, is Kelly there?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh my god, picking up the phone.
Can you imagine nowadays having, like, if you wanted to talk to your friend, you'd have to call and have their parents answer?
Or like payphones. Like if you were, let's say I stay home when you're at a con or something, you'd have to go find a payphone to call me. That was when like my dad when he used to work because he'd be on the road all the time, so he'd have to like stop at a gas station and call my mom from a payphone.
I mean, that's what I had to do in high school. My parents didn't let me have a cell phone until I was a sophomore. So freshman year, there was a payphone.
I was about that same age too when I got a cell phone.
Yeah.
Our little mobile flip phones.
But I remember it'd be like after volleyball, I would have to call and hope that one of them would answer if they didn't pick me up.
And then remember the big boxy cell phone things they had at one time?
I never had one. The Zach Morris phone.
My dad had one just because he had to be on the road all the time, but...
Oh, he had a box phone?
He had a box phone. And then we had one in our car, too. Very interesting time. CJ says, oh no, I'm a smaller Chicago artist. A little different over by McHenry. Was in Schaumburg last week, though. I'm going to say... Bussy Woods? I really wanted to say
Where is it?
Bussy Woods.
Oh, no.
Am I saying that wrong? I'm probably saying that name so wrong. Is it Bussy Woods, though?
It's probably not Bussy Woods. And we got to stop saying that. This video's going to get banned.
You can say Bussy, Tim.
Well,
It's not a banned word.
I don't know.
Is it too close to... Okay, fine. Bus Woods.
Yeah, Schaumburg was definitely my stomping grounds. Actually, that IKEA specifically is great.
Oh,
It was
my
like
God, that's
right
so
across the street from where I went to school, basically. So me and a lot of my friends would go there during the lunch break, at the time I wasn't vegan, so I would get the 2 hot dog, chip, and drink special, and it was $2.50. I'm like, this is, especially for a college kid, like, this is great.
It's making me kind of want to get the vegan dogs from IKEA.
I know, they're so good. Did we have an IKEA that built in Wisconsin, was it 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
You'll probably drive past it coming from Illinois.
Actually, yeah, you will drive past it, most likely.
It's like our...
Or you will, yeah, because you're coming from Illinois.
We have a tradition.
Basically.
Anytime we do a convention in Illinois and our drive back, we stop at IKEA. We did that. What is that? Oh my god, did we do that coming back from Atlanta? When did we do that?
Well, the problem is they're usually closed.
Yeah,
like we have to like book it, or else we're gonna miss the time slot. Sadly.
Jonathan, Tim, Josh, meet CJ Ellison. We would love to. This weekend's like crazy for us.
Our roommate's moving out.
Yeah, roommate moving out.
And we have
a graduation party.
Combined roommate and 4th of July party.
Oh my gosh.
Although honestly, if you ever like come up for like a life drawing session or something, I would love to go to like art stuff with other artists. I know me and my older roommate Tyler, we used to go to the Milwaukee life drawing like once a month, once every other month for a while. And then COVID happened, so that totally like uprooted our plans.
They're doing it again though, right?
I think they are doing it again.
You should go do that.
Definitely want to.
Tyler's here. Do they do Thursday ones or no? Tyler comes tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I can't do it this week.
Okay.
Josh and I have been working on our Red Fair costumes most nights. We're pretty excited to show it off, but we're keeping it kind of a secret.
It's going to be really good. Felix says, just don't follow any political people on Twitter and it's fine. And Ella says, same, I also am not a fan of Twitter. It's too much drama and content that I don't care for.
Literally,
Yeah.
Totally agree. But I was able to basically just mute or completely block people that are just too aggressive. And my Twitter experience has been way better. I have a link to my Twitter below if you want to look at it. I only post really art for like things when I'm doing live streams. I've actually really enjoyed it. I've been going to Twitter more for inspiration for art even than Instagram, which is crazy for me to even say that because I used to hate Twitter because of how divisive and just inflammatory everything seemed.
I just feel like, yeah, the human curiosity when you go on Twitter of like seeing something that you know is just gonna start an argument, and then you click the comment
Nope.
button,
And
and
that's
just
where it's a
like,
self-restraint, though.
and then it like turns into this 20 minutes, and all of a sudden you're like, you pull out of it, and you're like, what the heck was I just doing? Like, why was I reading this argument that clearly is going nowhere? It's just two people writing back and forth at each other. It just, yeah, it's gross.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, CJ says I would love to do art stuff in person again.
No kidding.
mean,
I haven't gone to
life
life drawing in like 3 years. No joke.
Yeah,
I've done
it's
like
insane.
online ones, but it's not the same.
You've not done those in a hot second.
And I love them. I truly think that's where like people grow the most in their posing, their anatomy, proportions. So yeah, I need to get back in there.
Oh. This is really looking really good to me.
It's fine.
I know. I think I'm impressed because I didn't realize you could lay down the powder graphite so early and actually work with it so well.
I mean, this is fine. To me, this is like just a fun time talking with the chat, kind of working with powder graphite. I'm still testing out like when's the best time to lay it out. And I've learned like if you use most of the powder graphite on your brush, you can kind of do this where it becomes more like a paintbrush. Well, it is a paintbrush, but more of a paintbrush in like laying down a light gray value. And then if you want to lift up some of that, I just take the kneaded eraser. So like let's say I want to make this look more like a incubation egg looking sci-fi thing. I can give more of that sheen that would suggest more of the surface shine on it.
Actually, Babs is really good with powder graphite too.
Oh my god. So one of my close friends, her name is Barbara. She is Babs Web on Instagram. Josh will link you guys below.
I gotcha.
She is a master of the powdered graphite.
Actually, Babs would be fun to do a drawing competition with.
Oh, she already said yes. So
oh, okay.
If you guys want to see Babs's work, she will be one of my people that I battle against live. I'm very curious to see how that goes. I feel like both of us are going to try to out-graphite each other. She might win that, though, because she can work really fast with powdered graphite. Where I feel like I'm still a wee babe in learning how to handle it correctly.
Jen says, guide to social media, block with abandon. There are some new platforms coming up around.
Wait,
I know
what?
There's the, no, just like blocking on social media, and then the new platforms coming. What was that one that we always get, people always mention? It's like the art-related, not ArtStation. There's something that people always recommend now, like the new art platform.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Jen says there are some new platforms coming up around.
At least not that I know of. I mean,
Really?
maybe I'm out of the loop with this one.
Tim going, this is fine, eh? Then he posted it and gets more likes than ever before, and now he's losing his mind. That has happened before where you're like not happy with something, but then for some reason it does like the best on Instagram.
There was one drawing I wasn't even gonna post because I was like, I don't even think people will like this, and then it ended up being like it did really well. Oh, wish I could remember which one it was though.
That's a little aggravating, but you can't complain too much about that.
Oh no, yeah, like it's one of those. If it does well, you can't be too upset. But I think it sometimes hurts like not the ego, but the idea that like you kind of know what would do well, what wouldn't on social media, and then when you're totally wrong, you're like, well, guess I don't know what I'm doing actually. Thought I did. So the other fun thing about the kneaded eraser is like, let's say I want to lift some of the values on the flowers that we've kind of got here. You literally just kind of drag the eraser on it, and you see how it just lifts it like instantly. Now, I'm someone that likes to have a good contrast of different values. So I don't want to lighten all of them, and I might even like re-add some of the lighter values. Like, I don't even know where this is going. This does not look like cat, so I have to do a different drawing of cat.
Having fun with it. Felix says, I think I do miss some of that texture that your drawings usually have. Powdered graphite is similar to an airbrush in Photoshop, where if you use it too much, it becomes too blurry overall.
Agreed. I think the artist that uses it the best is Eliza. I have her art book too. She uses powder graphite and then a blending stump a lot of the time, and it works very, very well for her. But I think her stuff is very smooth, but I think a lot of what I enjoy when I'm doing work is like a textural base. So that's why I don't use the powder graphite that much. But I feel like I'm kind of exploring right now. I'm having fun in between pieces. So I don't mind kind of whipping out some more powder graphite for the time being.
Trying out some different things.
I think I realized I'm like looking at this drawing at a weird angle. It's her ear that's throwing me off this whole time. I was like, something is wrong about this drawing. And the best part about whenever you have a character with long hair, literally, draw right over it.
Oh my gosh.
Ta-da! And there we go.
As the Raw says, a bit off topic, but I keep forgetting to ask you if you know the 1982 movie. Why do you guys do this to me? Koi Anaskatsi, Life Out of Balance. I think you'll like this type of experimental movie.
Oh, no. Actually, I will definitely watch this. Miles has been recommending a lot of movies to me that are foreign that I have never heard of before, and I really liked two of the ones that he showed me. So could you write that one down, actually?
Yeah.
I'm going to add that to my watch list. So, no, I have not heard of that movie. Thank you for the recommendation. Oh, much better. Oh, guys, look at it now. I mean, still kind of rough, but much better than it was.
Tim does like his experimental movies.
Love them.
All right, perfect. Oh yeah, that you're it gone.
It be gone. Actually, yeah, yesterday Josh and I saw the new Top Gun.
Okay.
And it was pretty good. I mean, there were definitely some moments that, I mean, it's very cheesy. I think you go into Top Gun knowing there's going to be a certain level of cheese that you're going to be viewing and experiencing. But if you're okay with that, you'll probably really like the movie. There were just a few, I'm not going to say what they were, but in the third act, there were a lot of those convenient coincidences that seem to happen in movies where it's like, oh, right at the right moment, and he puts out his hand right as he's slipping off the cliff and saves them, like that type of scenario. There were a few of those, and I think after 2 or 3 of them, you're like kind of eye rolling. You're like, all right, come on.
I mean, it definitely had that little bit of like the 90s cheese to it.
Yeah, definitely had quite a bit of that.
Yeah.
But the aerial shots were really fun. I think they did the
stunts were amazing.
Yeah, I would say they did the stunt work very well. Because you almost felt like it was real, like they were really flying these planes. So.
Well, they did have some shots where they were actually flying.
Well,
some of them were.
I mean, like Tom Cruise and.
Oh yeah, they were just chilling. I know.
Like it really did look like the way they did the lighting. It really did make it look like they were in the cockpit or in the. What do they even call it for fighter pilots?
It's a cockpit.
Okay.
Yeah. Scary stuff though. It had a good message though. I feel like. The message was like,
be defiant and you will be rewarded.
Oh yeah, you didn't like Tom Cruise's character at all.
He's not for me. He's fine though. Not for me.
I definitely think you judge because of the Scientology thing, which is warranted.
No, it's not even the Scientology thing.
Oh really?
He's literally a character that gets away with being defiant all the time and like destroying millions of thousands of dollars. Actually, not even thousands, just millions of dollars. That is not his. He did not buy these planes, so he keeps destroying them and wrecking them. And like he gets like a slap on the wrist every time. I'm like, is no one gonna?
I mean, yeah. Normally, someone wouldn't be able to get away with that.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not even, if I say something, it'll spoil it. So I'm not going to spoil it, but there was definitely a time where I'm like, really? He's not going to get in trouble for destroying this plane specifically?
It's fine, you know. They all just kind of, you know, they all
Eat
kind
the
of just-
cost.
Yeah, they eat the cost because they just know he's a good, charming guy.
You know, it's America.
Yeah.
You know, we can just spend millions buying planes that some crazy madman's going to just destroy because he wanted to stroke his ego in front of people. Anyways, though, I did actually kind of like it.
It was fun.
It's not great, but I would say it's good.
Esdera says, in regards to that movie, it's an American movie. The title is in Hopi language. It's a visual poem combining music with images.
No. It's strange that I haven't heard of that, to be honest.
I'm sure it's sitting on Criterion Collection, just waiting to be found by you.
It's like a recommended for me right away.
Right. Someone mentioned it finally. Time to reveal myself. Jonathan says we had a Lisa on a webinar not that long ago. Gorgeous work. And then yes to Top Gun cheese.
Yeah, it was very cheese. But, you know, it was fun. I can't even... I won't harp on it because it was fun. The third act, I think, was the most cheesy out of the whole movie. But I would say, like, while watching it, I was, kind of engaged. It might be a hard rewatch because it kind of has... What's another example? Where it's like everything, the whole movie's like one mission. So like once you know by the end if it fails or succeeds, it's a hard rewatch for me because you already know the outcome.
I feel like being an aviation nerd, I probably could watch it again.
Which one?
I said being an aviation nerd, yeah.
I think the only movie that has done this well where it's kind of like a mission typed scenario where even if you know what happens, success or failure, you can rewatch it would be Mad Max. Because, the whole, or Fury Road specifically, I guess the whole point is, or the whole mission is you try to get to point A to point B and it end up being kind of just a circle. But it doesn't really matter because the journey is really where they put a lot of their effort in.
Well, like same Lord of the Rings. For me at least. Because you could like, it's all about, it's the journey part. You don't really care about like.
That one's, I wouldn't even put it in that category because it is so fleshed out. Where it's like a bunch of multiple missions throughout.
Oh, you
know what I mean? Like,
I guess, yeah.
When it's like one specific mission. And I guess you could say they're putting the ring in the volcano, but it really is like a series of like smaller things. Because then you could say like Last Airbender is all about defeating the Fire Lord when really it's, them with a bunch of smaller missions like when they get to Earth.
Little quests along the way.
Which is great. All right, we're going to cut the stream off shortly. I guess she kind of became like this mushroom hat wearing thing.
Any last minute questions for the last 2 minutes? Get them in now.
And then just a small reminder, tomorrow we are doing a Patreon critique stream. So if you want me to take a look at your work and give you feedback on how to improve it or where I could see you possibly changing things up, and I will be doing that live. You have to submit your images by midnight tonight. So if you want to have me look at your stuff, the lowest tier I have is $5. So essentially you could join for that tier and then tomorrow literally get your money's worth and have me critique your stuff. I try to always tell people, I am doing this not to belittle anyone. It is truly to help people hopefully strengthen their artwork and push them on the path that they're already on. I'm not trying to make you guys artists in the same style that I am. I definitely look at like what style you're already creating in and then try to work off of that and try to push you on the path on that path. A lot of paths, we'll say. So if you want to join, you can do that. There is a link below. And then tomorrow I'll be streaming again.
Gorgeous. Katrina says this was amazing. Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming. I wasn't really sure where this was going in the first half of the stream. Usually when I'm not feeling super well, I think I don't think with as much clarity while I'm drawing. And sometimes it can affect it. In the first half of it, I was feeling it. I was like, I don't know what direction this is going in. But I think now I kind of see where it could head if I took this to finish.
As the Raw says, she looks beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Nino says, thank you
Thank
guys. Wish all us artists all the success, especially Felix. Yeah, Felix. Sending
Yeah,
you
for
all the
real.
love right now.
Just remember, you're better than you probably give yourself credit for. So hang in there. You got a few months where you can kind of plan things out. Take it very seriously. Take this as an opportunity. And yeah, I hope to see you shine.
Jens, thanks for the stream. Thank you for coming, Jens. Always good to see you. Yeah, I love our little group we have in here. And even the people that are probably come and just lurk around too. Like, it's always great having everyone here.
Yeah, I learned from cons. There's a lot of people just lurk, which I didn't know was a thing.
I do that a lot when I watch streams too.
Oh, do you really?
Sometimes you just see like background noise and yeah, it's pretty nice.
Like when you're watching Granny or something, you just kind of...
I mean, I'll chat sometimes, but most of the time I just pull it up and keep it on in the background.
Oh.
Elizabeth says, always look forward to these Wednesday streams. You do such good work. Thank you, Elizabeth. Like I'm taking credit for it.
Yeah. Thank you.
I really put a lot of work into this today.
Yeah, I don't really know what's going on.
There's an ear under that.
There's an ear, a very awkward looking ear that we cut very early on. What do I got? Okay, I know we're already over. Let me just define some of these areas, and then I will cut this off.
You're just vibing.
Ugh, I hate when I vibe with a drawing like near the end of the stream. So I'm like, oh, now we're getting to like the good part.
Jonathan, gents, I'm gonna dash. Big love. Last Airbender love. Much love to you, Jonathan. We'll see you soon.
Y'all have to check my DMs. Sorry if you wrote it a long time ago. I literally haven't checked my DMs the past 2 weeks, except for one of the days when I was responding to a story. But yeah, I'll have to give it a look.
Jonathan reminded you, Tim, DM.
I know I will, I promise.
Oh, Ella, thank you both so much. Although we were talking about some more sad topics, I feel oddly motivated and inspired from hearing you two talk about it. Oh, Ella.
Yeah, we did talk a lot about like, oh, it's a really tough future. Like, oh, it's going to be really hard to make it as an artist. But I only want to say it because I don't want to like sugarcoat it and then you try and then it's like, things aren't happening. Like, why is this not easy? It will be difficult, but for a lot of you, I'm telling you, if you push through some of those smaller hurdles in the beginning, it will pay off in the long run. And they can feel like huge hurdles. But for, at least in my experience, a lot of those smaller ones were just taking a chance and like, I guess the biggest one was quitting my full-time job to do this independent. It feels like this huge leap of faith at the time, but looking back, it's the best decision I've ever made. So, and especially if Felix, if you're still here, you're probably in that same situation I was kind of in. I mean, you were forced in it where I got to at least choose. But the next few months after, I really, laced up and got to work and it really helped out. So hope, you have a similar experience with that. All right. I'm going to cut this one here. I don't know where I'm going with this one at this point. Very trippy. Definitely covered the ear. Saved the entire drawing. All right, so thank you guys so much for coming to this live stream. Like I said, I'll be doing another one tomorrow, and it'll be a Patreon critique stream. And besides that, we have... Oh, yeah, could you just give me the chase print one last time?
Oh, yes.
If you join my Patreon by the end of July, we will be sending out an 8.5 and 11 of my colorblind print, which will be this, but a little smaller. And I'm trying to think if there's any other news. We'll probably be doing an art battle next Wednesday with one of my art friends. So if you want to compete with us alongside, I'll be probably taking on either my friend Dustin, Inkwell Illustrations, or Gawky. And as always, the topic we're not going to choose until literally the stream starts, and each of us will have a chance to type in our own words to Midjourney. So you can kind of see there's no pre-prep. It's live. If you are battling alongside with us, it is just as raw to us as it is to you. And I'm very excited about that. So hopefully you'll come to that if you want to join along and watch a battle ensue. Okay, take care, everyone. And until next Wednesday, or till tomorrow if you're there.
Yeah.
Take care. Okay.
Much love.
Actually, you got to cover the camera.
Oh,
Bye.
Goodbye.